The woman was meditating. Suddenly, countless hands appeared behind her. These hands tightly wrapped around her. The woman felt extremely uncomfortable. She suddenly opened her eyes. She found an ant crawling on her leg. The woman frowned and shook off the ant. She thought the strange sensation just now was an illusion. However, when she looked down, she suddenly discovered a large number of ants on the ground. They were crawling neatly in one direction. The woman was very curious. She followed the path of the ants. The ants crawled all the way to the corner of the wall, and there was actually a small hole there. The woman curiously looked inside the hole. However, the hole was very dark and she couldn't see anything. The woman was very puzzled as to why there was a hole in the wall, but she didn't notice that her scalp had started to itch, and she was uncontrollably scratching her hair. In the following days, she began scratching her scalp frequently. She couldn't help but scratch even while working. At night, the itching tormented her so much that she couldn't sleep. Gradually, the situation became more and more severe. The woman even tried using a board to scratch her scalp. However, she didn't pay much attention to it, until one day while she was working, a photo album suddenly fell from the nearby cabinet. The woman picked up the album and casually flipped to it, but she unexpectedly discovered that her mother's arm was covered with red spots. The woman quickly took out a magnifying glass to examine it closely. They were all scratch marks. The woman was extremely shocked. Thinking of her own recent physical abnormalities, the woman began to suspect that it might be a hereditary disease. To solve her doubts, the woman went to find her father. However, when she described her condition, her father's reaction was unusually intense. Her father angrily said that it was a curse. The woman was very shocked. She wanted to ask for more details. However, her father refused to say anything more. Helpless, the woman had no choice but to go home. But as soon as she arrived at the underground garage, she heard a faint crying sound. She followed the sound of the crying, but she found nothing there except for a swarm of ants. Looking at the ants, the woman suddenly realized that her abnormalities started after she encountered those ants. So she returned home and came back to the small hole. She began to suspect that this hole might be the ant's nest. Could they be the source of her strange condition? So the woman decisively sealed the hole. But will everything really end just because the hole is gone?